Hey, it's Alyssa, and this is going to be my obsessed video for theater. So, in this, I decided to choose, so the musical I decided to choose was Little Shop of Horrors, because it was the first musical that I ever saw in person. No, that's a lie. The first musical I ever saw in person was Chicago on Broadway. But this was the first time I'd ever seen Little Shop of Horrors, and it was the first time I'd seen a high school do it. And the song I'm doing is Now It's Just the Gas, because the dentist, as terrible as he is my absolute favorite character, because I love bad guys, and that's when Broadway gets a bad guy on there and he does it right, like, yes, that is my favorite thing. Sorry. Anyways, so Little Shop of Horrors first came out on, well, it wasn't really on Broadway, it was called Off Broadway, and it came out in on May 6th in 1982. And it wasn't on Broadway, it was on something called Off Broadway, and I really don't know what that is, and I can do more research on that. But it did have, it was on Off Broadway for 5 years, and it had over 813 runs of the show. And in 2003, they had a revival cast, which is the album that I listen to most often. I really don't listen to the original soundtrack that much, which is sad. But the revival cast is just so beautiful. Like, I'm using two computers, and this one keeps beeping at me, and it irritates me, so I'm sorry. The composer was Alan Menken. I don't know if I said that right, but it's Alan Menken. And the lyricist, was Howard Ashman. And Howard Ashman was, like, inspired by the idea of the play being in, like, 1950, 1960 era, which means, like, if you've listened to the soundtrack, a lot of it is very much, like, early 60s. It sounds kind of like early Beatles-ish, like when they first started with the bowl haircuts, and very Elvis-y as well. If you listen to the dentist sing at all, either in Dentist or in Now It's Just the Gas, he very much sounds like Elvis, and he has a very Elvis-y tune to it. And so, like, I just love his character. He's just greatly flawed. Okay, and so in the recording that I'm listening to, it was Douglas Sills who played Orrin, the dentist, and Joey Fatone playing Seymour. And I love his version of Seymour because everyone knows Seymour's character is supposed to be very pure and very, like, the opposite of Orrin. And so, like, in this song, you hear how this very sweet guy is, like, contemplating murdering someone because he very much enjoys Audrey, who the dentist is dating and abusing. And Orrin, who is a bad guy, is begging Seymour for help, and Seymour is, like, contemplating letting the guy die, because then he doesn't technically murder him, but he was there and could have done something. It's just a very, like, good conflict in morals right then, because the dentist is, like, begging for his life, and he's not a good guy, but some people believe people deserve to live. But Seymour also has Audrey in mind, and Audrey 2, the Venus flytrap plant from outer space. And so, if he wants fame in Audrey, he'll let Orrin die. But in this song, you hear, like, the conflict in morals. So, the third what is that? Okay, sorry. Um, the movie, they had a movie released of Little Shop of Horrors on December 19th in 1986, so only a few years after it came out on Off-Broadway. But a lot of people who were fans of the musical before the movie came out were upset because not only did it have an alternate ending, it didn't include several songs, such as Moshnik and Son, this song, Now It's Just the Gas, and the alternate ending was very different because if you haven't seen the musical, spoiler alert, Audrey dies because the plant just eats her. And so does Seymour, because then he goes into the plant. He plunges into the plant in an attempt to kill it, but he doesn't. But in the movie, he in fact kills the plant, but the seeds still go everywhere, still spreading like the end of the movie would. And it's just not a good ending, in my opinion, because it's not supposed to end happy, and the movie did, and it's supposed to be like a funny tragedy. So I was disappointed, but it's fine. It mocks the style of the 1960s, 50s rock style, like I already said, but it's just so catchy and groovy that's after I first saw it, I had to go and see it again, because it was just so good, and whenever I saw it, students were the ones executing it, and the fact that they were just students was amazing. I was blown away. But then again, I was only in the 8th grade. So, and the reason why I'm going to say that is, the first time I saw it, it was a production at Boyd in 2014, 2013, one of those 2 years. I am fully aware that we are not Boyd, but my friend, she helped make the musical, and she made the set and everything, and she was kind of a semi-director in it, and so she really wanted me to come see it, so that's my defense. Okay. Anyways, it's it was a really good musical, and it's if students can do it well, then it was probably phenomenal on Off-Broadway. So, I'm going to play the song now because I've been talking for ever. And here we go.
Now, do it now, while he's gassing himself to a palpable stupor. The timing's ideal and the moment is super to ready and fire and blow the sick bastard away.
Okay, just that. That is a big cluster of big words, and such, he says it so fast, and, oh my god, okay, I really appreciate how much he did, because he's, saying it's not just, he's, saying words, he's saying it in such a way that it's, poetic, but he doesn't sound like he's doing something wrong, even though he's literally about to murder someone, and he just says it so fast, and I love it. Hold on. That was so cool.
A palpable stupor, the timing's ideal, and the moment is super to ready and fire and blow the sick bastard away.
The vibrato. They both Sills and Fatone have such good, anytime they hit a note, they, the vibrato is just so good, and it gives me chills. They are very good at that. Okay. Oh, and the laugh. Okay, so he's gassing himself with laughing gas, which is supposed to be used on dentist patients, but he uses it on himself, so he literally does surgery on patients while he's high and they are very much sober, and it hurts them, but he's having a blast, and so the laugh he has, because he's a bad guy, it's so sinister, and it's just, ooh, chills. I love it. Oh my god, if they get into it and do the laugh right, it is the best. Okay, that's my dogs. They're barking.
No, do it now. Just a flicker of pressure right here on the trigger, and Audrey won't have to put up with that pig for another day. Now for the girl, now for the plant, now yes I will. But I can't.
Oh my god, okay. Literally, like, that's, like, the conflict right there. Like, you see him, he's literally fighting with himself. He's like, I'm gonna do this because he's hurting Audrey. I want fame and fortune. I'm gonna do it for the plant so I can get all these things. But then his morals come in and he's like, but I can't actually murder someone. Because, like, that's, like, bad? Okay, but, like, the entire time there's laughing behind him, and it's so sinister. Like, it's terrifying. And especially, like, this man literally did this for a living. Like, he had real patience. Like, that's scary. Okay. Sorry.
Oh, boy, Seymour, I am flying now. Oh, the things we're gonna do to your mouth. Well, I guess I've had about enough of this stuff. I'll just take the mask off now and...
Okay, if you haven't seen this musical, he has this big contraption, like, on his head. Like, it's not a normal, like, little gas mask like that. It's, like, this big contraption, like, all around him. Like, it's even, like, strapped onto his back and everything. And in that very moment, he's trying to take it off. And so, like, from a dancer point of view, I very much love when people, like, get with the musicality through their actions, not just, like, with their words or anything. And so, he literally, like, jerks with it, and he really hits those moments in the musical, and it's just pleasing to me. So, if you can visually see that, he's, like, trying to jerk it off, and he literally can't. So.
Seymour, guess what? What? It's stuck. What? The mask, it's stuck. I can't get it off. Jesus Christ, I could asphyxiate in here.
He sounds like the Joker.
Hey, Seymour, give me a hand, will you?
Well. He says, well.
Seymour, I don't think you understand. Don't be fooled if I should giggle like a sappy.
Like, that's so beautiful! Like, okay, so neither one of their voices is like, oh my god, beautiful, crazy trained, but like the way they like build up and the way they sing is just like, you anticipate that it's gonna be something like big, and it's good, very good.
Happy dope, it's just the gas. It's got me high. But don't let that fact deceive you. Any moment I could die. Though I giggle and I chortle, bear in mind I'm not immortal. Why this whole thing strikes me funny, I don't know.
But it really is a rotten way to go. Like, okay, the way that the music is, like, you can get into the performance even though you're not the one performing. As you can see, I'm getting into it. Like, I love this. Like, the music, just like the instrumental version, because you can hear the hits in it, and it's like, you know what he's supposed to be hitting in that very moment. Because, like, he doesn't have to hit a crazy high note, and he's not trying to, like, give you chills in the way that it's beautiful, but it's giving you chills in just the performance. Because if you don't even have, like, an actual video of it, you can hear the passion, and, like, you can even envision how he's looking and how he's mad, and, like, he can't even really be mad because he's, like, laughing because he can't control how the gas is affecting him. And then, if y'all haven't seen it, Seymour, I can envision it still, is sitting in the chair looking terrified even though he's about to kill someone else. And the guy can't do anything. He's laughing, and when you're laughing, you're weak. Like, And in case y'all didn't know, laughing is a form of panic sometimes. So in laughing gas, it's a form of panic, and when someone tickles you, it's a form of panic. So your body is literally panicking, so it makes this noise that you make whenever you're trying to be happy. And it's something weird with the body, but in case you didn't know, now you do. And in this very moment, he's panicking, but he can't control it. And when you laugh, your body gets weak. You kind of collapse over. You can't really fight back. And so, therefore, it's like, if you think of it in that way, you can see why it's terrifying. But at the same time, if you're sitting in a chair contemplating murdering someone, and then at the same time, you give this opportunity to where you don't even have to, like, oh, okay.
What we have here is an ethical dilemma. Unless I help him get the mask removed, he doesn't have a prayer. True, the gun was never fired, but the way he been inspired, I can finish him with simple as a fair. What we have here is a tricky moral problem. Do I help remove the mask or let him go for lack of air? Couldn't shoot him when I tried, but the fates are on my side. I can off the guy by staying in the chair.
Okay, hold on. That part, it starts at 2 minutes and 15 seconds, is so beautiful to me, because he's speaking so fast in this very poetic diction, and then you have Oren in the background singing, begging, and the way he's singing is so pretty, because the vibrato, because they're good at that. Oh my gosh, it's great. And it builds up. Like, it's not just like he's hitting a straight note. He starts low and it gets higher as the word goes, now. And so it's just beautiful. Okay. Wait, I want to start from... Oh! That scared me. I was like, why isn't it going? Okay, I'm going to start at 2 minutes 15 again so y'all can hear that. Oh! I lied! It starts way sooner.
What we have here is an ethical dilemma. Unless I help him get the mask removed, he doesn't have a prayer. True, the gun was never fired, but the way he been inspired, I can finish him with simple as a fair. What we have here is a tricky moral problem. Do I help remove the mask or let him go for lack of air? Couldn't shoot him when I tried, but the fates are on my side. I can off the guy by staying in the chair.
Like, it's so pretty.
Don't be fooled if I should chuckle like hyenas in a zoo. It's just the gas. It turns me on. But don't remember to see me when in moment I'll be gone.
Okay, something else I noticed is, like, whenever he starts singing and he, like, mentions hyenas in a zoo and all that, the background music to me sounds like a circus because of the way that, I don't know, pay attention to that for a sec. One sec.
If I should chuckle like hyenas in a zoo, it's just the gas. It turns me on.
And it's getting faster.
Remember to see me when in moment I'll be gone. All my vital signs are failing, 'cause the oxide I'm inhaling.
I'll slow him down again because he's dying.
Catch my breath. Are you dumb? Or hard of hearing?
My end is nearing.
Are you satisfied? I've laughed myself to... Death?
Okay. That song is like 3 minutes and like 40 seconds long. And to keep up that kind of energy they have throughout the entire song, oh my god, that has to take so much energy. I'm so sorry. That has to take up so much energy because, like, I don't know. And they do multiple songs that are that high energy or more the entire show. Like, the show is beautiful anyway. And so this song to me is just like, vocally, it's not that challenging, but the way they perform it, it makes it sound like art. I don't know how to describe it. But I love it. and I can't really explain because like it's such a simple song and it's a very simple musical. There's nothing about it that's very complex. It's just they do things that intertwine with each other. To me, like, I don't know. I'm just like, I've always been obsessed with this musical ever since I saw it, and so I can't even watch the movie because I get irritated about the missing of certain songs and the alternate ending. But it just like I love it, and then the art for it that everyone does. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but like the art, look at that art. It's very beautiful. I love it. And then also real fast appreciation to every girl who ever plays Audrey, because Audrey has a very high range, and most of the time she's up there, and she even speaks with a lisp in the movie. And so like, just real fast, give credit to any girl who ever has played Audrey in any way, shape, or form. That is a hard character to nail, and it's also hard to play a jerk who is kind of psychopathic, sociopathic. So any person who also plays Dentist Orin. So that's it. That's my obsessed video, and I hope it's good. So